after you graduate, after you have that bachelor's degree at least, and you have your stable work, instead of like saving up for yourself, I'm not saying you should neglect your family, but what they expect is that all of the bills you will pay it. It affects our personal dreams a lot. It's a big effect because um, starting from the simple things, there are some things that we have to sacrifice. I think the word eldest and the word sacrifice, they are inseparable.
Do you think such knowledge sometimes or most times stifles
Mm.
some of the dreams that
Yes.
these eldest children or oldest boy or oldest girl would have for themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that everyone growing up, they aspire to do something for themselves or become something. Hello, guys. This is Promise, the host of Simply Promise and You. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you have any opinions, ensure to drop them in the comment section. It promises to be informative, educative, and entertaining. Welcome, guys. Hello, guys. You're welcome to Simply Promise and You today. I remain your humble host, Promise, and this is
I am your one and only and beautiful co-host. I am Mariam.
as you guys can see, we're always looking so dashing, so fresh. We're just like your vegetables. You can have us now if you wish. So, but today we want to talk about something that is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go ahead and have that conversation, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, you share, drop your opinions, your thoughts under the comment section, and subscribe if you are really new. So, we really want to talk about the pressure of being the eldest child
Mm-hmm.
and how it can stifle someone's dreams
Okay.
um, in the future. So let's talk about it. The pressure of being an eldest child in a Filipino home and
Mm-hmm.
how
Okay.
it can affect someone's dreams, their visions, and life.
Yeah.
So, what do you actually think about it since you're a Filipino?
Actually, yeah, I'm a Filipino. Second is I'm also an eldest in my home. So I guess I'm not surprised anymore whenever I see something like a post or whenever I hear people talking about the cons of being an eldest in a Filipino home. Because specifically in the area where I came from, we take it as we take it as a big thing that ever since the eldest child is a child, he or she must learn how to be a parent already to his or her siblings. And I have experienced that. I was actually raised by my grandmother, and my parents is working still up until this time in Manila, which is the capital of the Philippines. So we are 4 hours away from Manila. And as an eldest child, I think I remember when I was 10 years old, I started bathing my sister.
Hmm.
I was the one who's bathing her. And so, and ever since I was maybe like 8 years old, I was taught to like cook basic things such as rice.
Hmm.
Since rice is basically always a part of our staple meal, and also we don't have like a faucet in my area because we're like in a very simple and old village. So what we do is that if you know pump, water pump, that's what we do. And the water pump that was available back then was like few meters away from our home. So even if I'm a girl, I was expected to like go fill the buckets
Really?
and walk a few meters away from my home. So if in other culture they don't allow girls to do that,
Yeah.
especially a child, but for us it's because I'm eldest. That's why I have to do it. I have to, and there's a word that I always use, like the parentified daughter. So I think I'm one of them because this is the con. Since I mentioned the con, I don't really remember any of my childhood memories except for the things that I was doing as a
So, in other words,
parentified one.
you were forced to assume that responsibility at
Yes.
a very early age.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like that is what I really want to know. Like, so
Mm.
over here in the Philippines, children grow up having the knowledge that a time will come in their life that they will be faced with a burden of providing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So do you think such knowledge sometimes or most times stifles
Mm.
some of the dreams that
Yes.
these eldest children or oldest boy or oldest girl would have for themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that everyone growing up, they aspire to do something for themselves or become something.
Mm.
So them assuming that role, maybe after having their first degree or when they are done
Yes.
with education and they assume the role of becoming a parent at an early age, don't you think that it affects
Personal dreams.
personal dreams or goals that they might have for themselves? And in what way does that affect them?
Actually, yeah, it does a lot. It affects our personal dreams a lot. It's a big effect because um, starting from the simple things, there are some things that we have to sacrifice. I think the word eldest and the word sacrifice, they are inseparable because ever since when we were kids, we as the eldest, um, we are mostly expected to like um, what do you call this? Put other people's feelings
Feelings
first
first,
before
like
us.
okay, so you have to like put yours aside and
Aside,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
drive in
um,
other people's feelings. Okay.
it starts with that, with those simple things. Just like for example, when we were kids, we're not that rich. He knows about this. I was telling him about my life before, and there were times where the food is not enough. So for example, let's just say we have 5 cups of rice. No, I'm sorry, maybe like 5 tablespoon of rice, and that's the only thing that we got, for example. And I have to take only 2 tablespoon, and I'll give the 3 tablespoon to my younger sibling. That's the kind of concept that we always run around with when we are kids as an eldest. And also, it comes to the bigger concept, which is the personal dreams. It affects the personal dreams a lot. Why? Because there are so many Filipinos, specifically Filipinas, Filipino women. Um, the biggest con I think is that they don't have the time or like the chance to get married,
Yeah,
to find
yeah,
someone and
yeah.
get married
It's true.
because
They feel burdened
mm,
providing. I don't have time to mingle, date. So
exactly,
if I should be in a relationship, I think I would also have to give time to my significant other. But
yes,
for now, I'm trying to provide for my younger
yeah,
ones, for my family. I don't want anyone to guilt trip me. Oh,
yes.
you have done this. Why don't you take care of us?
And
Yeah.
actually, you cannot take that away from this culture of mine because after you graduate, after you have that bachelor's degree at least, and you have your stable work, instead of like saving up for yourself, I'm not saying you should neglect your family, but what they expect is that all of the bills you will pay it, all of the like groceries you will pay it. If you have youngest, this is a little bit controversial for some foreigners. If you have youngest siblings and you're the eldest, instead of saving up for yourself, even if you're married, you still have to help your youngest sibling for the tuition fee if they're still studying.
Like for me, I don't really have an issue with that. Like
Mm-hmm.
because I think, like I said, we have almost similar culture, but the difference is that in our culture, especially from my own
Mm.
tribe, I come
Yeah.
from an Igbo tribe. It's more like a patriarchal
Yeah.
order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Men are the ones that are usually tasked
Mm-hmm.
with such responsibilities. Women are not often burdened to do such things. Like I keep saying, in our family, we are just like five, three girls,
Mm-hmm.
2 boys. So we tend to like empower our sisters to get an education,
Mm-hmm.
and part of empowering them is by encouraging them to do that. But such responsibility for provision is being left to for our parents.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents understand that that is their primary responsibility, that
Yes.
it is not our responsibility. Even if we should do that,
Mm.
we are not doing that because
You're
we are supposed to do
obligated.
that.
Yeah.
We are just doing that because of family ties or blood
Okay.
ties, not
Okay.
like we owe it to them.
Mm.
So, but then we, the guys, we tend to provide more for our sisters. We tend to
Okay.
like prepare them so that when they eventually get married, anyone that they are getting married to will not look down on them and feel
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm trying to take you out of poverty. But we try to make our sisters look good before other men. So any
Yeah.
man that is coming will not see that, oh, I'm becoming the savior of this
Yes.
lady.
Yes.
But he will
Yes.
understand that he's also coming to play his own part.
Yes.
Do you get it? But ever since I've been here in the Philippines, I've noticed that you see some students, some classmates, they are not really happy, and you ask them, they are thinking about it, and some of them, even whilst they are in school, they are taking some odd jobs and trying to like take this responsibility. And
Yeah.
I keep asking, what are your parents doing about this? And I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to shame the Filipino culture.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we are not trying to do that. But we are trying to look at how we can improve on
Yes.
on these things. Because I've met friends in school, especially women,
Mm.
who told me, there was one that told me that she had to move to the Middle East to work. So
Mm-hmm.
over there in the Middle East, she had to go through a lot.
Yes.
Going through a lot. She had to like save up
Yeah.
lots of
Yeah. Yeah.
money to buy a land, build a house, and she was taking care of her younger ones.
Yeah.
And now she's here.
She's not
She's back.
married.
She's not married. She doesn't have a serious boyfriend, and she's almost moving past. Sorry to say this, past her biological prime, whereby she's more fertile.
She's getting nearer to the
Menopause,
menopausal.
yeah, and you realize that most times it can lead them to depression.
Yes, of course.
Because they'll be like, yeah, when I was younger, I am supposed to do this, I'm supposed to hit this
Mm.
milestone, but because I have younger ones that I have to protect, I have to provide for, I have
Mm.
not, sometimes it can lead to resentment.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can turn these oldest children against their parents because they might end up blaming their parents for like doing all this. And sometimes some of the mistakes or some of the problems that comes along things like this is that you might have younger ones that are very, very ungrateful. When you are cursed to have a younger ones that are ungrateful, they might not really appreciate the sacrifice you have made
Mm-hmm.
for them. And maybe if they are married and they have children or they seem to have life going on well for them, they might not really understand the sacrifice that you
Of
made to make
course,
sure
yeah.
that they themselves could have it easier. So these are some of the things we are just talking about, how some of these early imposition on the eldest children that they have to provide stifles or delays some of their dreams.
And I just wanted to add lastly, you were mentioning about in your culture. I know that it's patriarchal,
Yeah.
that men are mostly expected to do things like that, like provision.
Ah.
But here in the Philippines, I don't think it's like that. I think it's more of like matriarchal. I'm saying this not to stain the Filipinos' image, but this is the reality. And as a Filipina, I am experiencing it myself. And for men, I'm not looking down on men, but men men are good providers. Like if they want to, it's their nature. If they want to provide, they will really provide. They will do everything. So men, I think you guys are naturally good providers. But I know it's hard. It's already hard for your part. But think about it. A woman that is not, it's not in her nature to provide, but she is expected to provide and also do something at home. So that would be like, it's too hard to juggle. And one of the cons is that 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 eldest daughter specifically, might grow up being too masculine. And if she gets into a relationship in the future, which is, I'm relating it to myself, when I first went into my first relationship, it was hard for me to get into my feminine era, because I was used to like act like a man, being masculine, being in charge of everything. And sometimes I show it in our relationship, but I'm thankful that this man is masculine enough to like let me bask in my own femininity, and that's what I'm thankful for. So that's one of the cons, and I guess that in my culture, I'm not hating on it, but like just like what I said, this is the reality, and I'm also experiencing it myself. So, if you have friends that you know they are the eldest in their family, sometimes you can just ask them, "How are you? What's on your mind today? Do you have any problems? Do you mind sharing it to me?"
Yeah.
Because a little message like that can make them feel that someone understands them.
Yes, and this is very, very important. And this is one of the things I've also shared with her personally. If you find yourself in that provision stage,
Mm.
in order for you not to be overflooded with such responsibilities, this is what I keep telling them. Make sure you remind your family the importance of focusing on needs
Yes.
over wants.
Yeah.
Teach them the importance of financial literacy
Mhm.
so that they won't expect you
Depends.
to get things that are not
Yeah.
really needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing I also want you to do is like, in as much as you are teaching them the importance of needs, teach them that they should learn the importance of sustainability
Mm.
because it's very, very important. And as you're teaching them the importance of sustainability, make them understand that you're not just there to provide, you're also there to what? Empower. So
Mm.
instead of you to be dishing out money to them every week, every month,
You teach
you
them
teach
how
them how to
to.
make money, and not just how to make money, you empower them on how they can grow their own finances. Or to an extent, you can even ask them to learn a skill
Yeah.
and you establish them so that they can also be making their own money so that they will not always depend
Depends.
on you. So these are some of the things that you do. So that when you eventually, okay, maybe one day you decide, okay, I want to have a family now. When you finally have a family,
You don't need to worry.
nobody to worry you. Then you can be able to focus on your own family. So this
Yeah.
is just what we believe and we think,
Mhm.
guys. So just let us know what you think about this. If you have any experience as regards to how this too much responsibility is affecting
Mm.
the dreams of eldest children, just let us know in the comment section.
Or if you're the youngest, then let us know what are the things that you appreciate about your elder or eldest siblings. And guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video if you have enjoyed it, share it to your family and friends, and we'll see you on our next video.
Thank you, guys.